So, good day classmates. So, this time I will be discussing about the right to health and right to education. So, first, these are my objectives. At the end of the lesson, the students must be able to understand the right to health and education of indigenous people in the Philippines, appreciate the importance of rights among indigenous people through group activity, and create a slogan empowering indigenous people's rights. So since we are into um, video presentation, so I think the other objectives are not being hit. So first is, as you can see in the pictures, who are these and what are the role for these rights. So first we have President Fidel V. Ramos. So the role of Fidel Ramos is that he signed on October 29, 1997, the Republic Act number 8371, which is the Indigenous Peoples' Rights Act of 1997, which aims to recognize, protect, and promote the rights of indigenous people in the Philippines, including the rights to health and rights to education. And the principal author of that Republic Act 8371 is Ronald Adamat. So that is the role of Fidel Ramos. So according to the Republic Act 8371, so it was stated there on chapters 5 about the social justice and human rights, and section 25 that the ICC or IP have the right to special measures for the immediate, effective, and continuing improvement of their economic and social conditions, including in the areas of employment, vocational training, and retaining housing, sanitation, health, and social security. So this um, way to health is being cited in the Republic Act 8371. So what are the challenges of those indigenous peoples? So one of those is that indigenous peoples have the limited access to health care facilities and services, because we all know that indigenous peoples are not literate enough for this kind of stuff. Second is that cultural insecurity, because those indigenous peoples believe only to their herbal and many other practices para sa ilahang for taking care of themselves. And we also have the historical trauma and ongoing discrimination. Because of the discrimination, indigenous peoples are not being acknowledged. So what are the possible nga himuon ani for in order for those indigenous people will acquire the right to health? So this act, which is the under the Republic Act 8371. And of course, let's proceed to the right to education. So what this Republic Act 8371 provide into this? So in chapter 6, cultural integrity, which is stated that the state shall provide equal access to various cultural opportunities to the ICC IPs through the educational system, public or cultural entities, scholarships, grants, and other incentive without prejudice to the right to establish and control their educational systems and institutions by providing education in their own language in a manner appropriate to their cultural methods of teaching and learning. So indigenous children, youth shall have the right to all levels and forms of education of the state. That's why there are many schools that are accepting indigenous peoples. They're even given them scholarship. For instance, the PIGAS. But priority nila is yung mga IP students. So that's the benefits of the Republic Act 8371. And of course, is the United Nations Declaration on the Right of Indigenous Peoples. This is the organization. In Article 14 stated that indigenous peoples have the right to establish and control their educational systems and institution providing education in their own languages in a manner appropriate to their cultural methods and teaching learning. And second, indigenous individuals, particularly children, have the right to all levels and forms of education and of the state without discrimination. And of course, in Three states shall, in conjunction with indigenous peoples, take effective measures in order for indigenous individuals, particularly children, including those living outside their communities, to have access, when possible, to an education in their own culture and provide their own language. So that's how important the IP rights, the rights to education. So wala nagilimitahan kung unsa lang or kinsa lang pwede makapag-aral sila, because even the government given them the chance to study in different schools with their own, or provided in their own language. So, and of course, under the UNDREP, in Article 24, that um, when we talk about the indigenous, or the health right to health, that indigenous peoples have the right to their traditional medicines and to maintain their health practices, including the conservation of their vital medical plants, animals, minerals. Indigenous individuals also have the right to access without any discrimination to all social and health services. So even the nations, or the national kaning UNDREP, given the rights for all indigenous peoples na pwede nila i-continue ang ilahang traditional medicines, which is herbals and medicational practices, but they are still have the right, the access without any discrimination, if they want to have the social and health services. And two, indigenous individuals have an equal right to the enjoyment of the highest attainable standard of physical and mental health. So even the indigenous peoples have also the rights to enjoy the benefits of being healthy, by allowing them nga maka-acquire sa any services, healthcare, and states shall take the necessary steps with a view to achieving progressively the full realization of their rights. So that's the rights of indigenous peoples, the right to health and right to education. And of course, we have here also the how did the indigenous education start. Actually, it was started by the leader of Aita in Zambales, na si Carling Dumulot. He said, he said that we cannot benefit from frontline services, and difficult communications prevent us from telling the government what we need. So because of this leader, na nangusog si Dumulot na ipaglaban talaga ang rights sa indigenous, especially sa right to health and right to education. So that is why 1995 the Episcopal Commission on Indigenous People have the right to defend minority rights and help indigenous group find way to bridge the gap between their cultures and the rest of the world. So that's it. So that's why nag-start na dayon ang non-formal education in one such way. Then Pamulaan Center of Indigenous People Education is an educational institution dedicated to the indigenous people in the Philippines. So muna dayon ni ang start nga nanay kaugaling school ang indigenous people. Then it started na po dayon. There's this tertiary education, then elementary and high school program, and early childhood or early child development program. So that's how the indigenous education starts. So, but what are the challenges faced by the indigenous people in Asia in enjoying their right to health? So first, disparities in health situation. Second, lack of birth registration and citizenship. Disposition of land, territories, and resources. Particular impact on indigenous women and the rights. So these are the issues nga na-face sa mga indigenous peoples. We also have here the traditional knowledge and health practices, indigenous youth and children, access to health services, impact of climate change. So even these factors affected, or mga issue nga na atubang sa indigenous people. So that's it. It's really important to have the rights to health and the right to education nga mas mapalawig pa nato ang ilahang rights, especially those indigenous people. It is because it will help them na ma-preserve ang culture. We will be able to help them na ma-preserve ang ilang culture. O dili po na to neglect ang fact na there are also a human. They're also a human nga they need education, they need the health care. So and that's my report all about the right to health and the right to education.